Hey everybody, we're live. Great to have my friend Mitch here. It's a sad day in Oakland, and for everybody that even was acquainted with the god of football in Oakland, John Beam. There's no other way to put it than that. Coach Beam, I was informed by my once boss and longtime friend Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris, who was Paulton Community College chancellor who hired John Beam, that John Beam was shot in the head. Uh, uh, by someone who is at large. We don't know where this person is. Um, we just know that this person ended John Beam's life very tragically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 years community.
Community.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about Coach Beam, Mitch?
I remember when he got on.
I think
I think I was in
the
the 11th grade,
and
he's
he's
just
a
a great guy helping out
Bella.
Bella.
Next
Next
thing
thing, he takes over the program,
elevates
elevates
himself,
himself,
goes
goes
to
to Laney,
turns
that
that program
program
around.
around.
Oh, lost him. Somehow, let me get him back. Hey, Mitch. Somehow we lost him. Hold on a second. We lost him. One second. Uh, let me get back. I don't know. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there you go. I don't know what that was
Yes.
about. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry. You were saying.
I'm getting an echo.
Oh, you know what it
Big time.
is?
Big time.
It's let me turn the echo cancellation is what it is. Okay, how's that?
Let's see. Way better.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. You were saying about Coach
So
B.
in I was in the 11th grade when he came to Skyline, and he's just this fiery assistant coach under Fardella, and he took over Skyline's program and took those guys to heights and kept that program riding high and rode that all the way down to Laney College, where not only did he take that program to heights and state championships, he also elevated the lives of young men. I don't know if you saw the Netflix special on Laney College. They've run various specials around the country on football and basketball in at the junior college ranks, and I forget the name
Last
of
chance, you.
Last Chance U. And it was really fun to watch because I've seen Coach in action for over 40 years. I mean, I'd see him walking his grandbaby up near the Chabot Golf Course, and always if you had a chance to speak to him, it was always, I mean, just always positive. Good to see you, glad to see you out here, and it was, and you congratulate Coach every time you saw him because he it wasn't just that he won on the field, he won off the field, and the way he cultivated lives and was able to keep guys on paths, keep them away from the streets as best he could, and channeled their energy into the classroom and the field. And he did that for the better part of almost 5 decades. And this is a shame that whatever reason that this had to happen, it's just a senseless loss.
Yeah,
Senseless.
senseless the is the word. Excuse me that I that comes to mind. It just whew, uh, it, it boggles the mind. That this could occur. It really
Yeah.
does, and
It, it,
and
you
um,
think of 40 plus years of the lives that he touched. It, I hate to even think this far in advance because I'm still hoping it's not true, even though I know it's not. I know it is to be true.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah.
Where can they hold the services at the Coliseum? Because so many people will turn out for this
That'll be a fitting place.
because
You know.
he's touched lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generationally, he's
Yeah.
touched lives.
Yeah.
Because the kids he started with have grandkids now. Maybe some of them have great grandkids. Who knows? But he's touched a lot of lives, and
Hmm.
for his life to be snuffed out for whatever reason just doesn't make sense.
No, I can't even think of any reason that would I mean, I don't know. Of course, we don't know. We have to rest, unfortunately, with the fact that we don't know. And then what's horrifying though is we don't know, but then what we know now is stuff that we don't really want to know, but you can't help it. And so it's like, okay, what's next? That's enough right there. He was dedicated to Oakland. He loved
Yes.
Oakland, you know, everything about Oakland. And he ate, particularly from the athletic standpoint. And I think, now for me, the gold standard was Fardella because of that voice. Hey, All American at home, right? You know,
Yeah.
but Bean managed to do it a different way. And
Oh, he still yelled.
yeah. I think here's the thing about it, because uh, the difference is that I wasn't on the receiving end of Bean, but I was on the receiving end of Fardella.
Yeah.
That was the difference, right? Uh, so, but I thought anybody that could surpass what Coach Fardella did, and then I had the chance to meet him. I see why. It's just that fire. You
Yeah.
just feel it. You can feel that intensity.
Yeah.
Uh,
And one of these, whomever, maybe not didn't have the best home training and figured whatever I'm mad about, we'll just take all our frustrations with a pistol.
what's up with that, man? I don't get it.
And it doesn't. I mean, and to add insult to injury, there was a shooting in Skyline yesterday.
Yeah.
Afternoon. Uh, I believe that student was shot in the butt. I think that's what I heard, but still shooting nonetheless. And to walk around with a pistol thinking that's the problem solver, that just creates more problems than you'd ever would have dreamed of. And
Yeah.
I can't wait until society gets away from thinking that this
Is the
will
answer.
settle whatever problem I have when
Well,
it won't.
and also we have to talk about mental illness because I'm sorry, someone doesn't do that without being mentally ill. I mean,
Well, I'm going to beg to differ
sure, please.
because in this society, we did everything outside growing up, and if we had a problem, we fought.
Mm.
Today's kids do everything inside, and then they have these games where they end problems with guns,
Right.
with the video games. So
Yeah.
then when they get out into reality, their sense of reality, maybe it's warped. I don't know.
Right.
But
But that's what I'm talking about as far as mental illness.
is that a mental illness, or is that just
a number of people with
bad
this.
home training?
Well, I remember attending. Actually, it's actually on my YouTube channel here. This goes back to I want to say 2010, and the advent of online games and the recognition there was violence and how it was affecting us. And this is a very good. If you just type game violence, anything to game violence, you'll see the video lecture. But it was a very good presentation by the hosts of how these games affect how you think, you know? And if it makes you do something that is against society, and it comes from a change in your mind, then you have to say that it is a mental illness because at its very core, mental illnesses are those things that cause you to do things that you know are not right, either to yourself or to other people.
Okay, and on the flip side, if my reality is a video game all day long because that's how I'm babysat, because
Hmm.
this is all I'm
Right.
told to do, sit in front of this, that
Yep.
is my reality. So somebody might be able to call it mental illness, but for the person in the midst of it, that is the reality.
That's well said. Yeah.
Violent.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Which means there's something wrong with that situation, right? It's just like,
It's really tough. I was at the gas station. I went inside to pay, and I was next in line, and this young kid just walked and cut me and paid. One side of me wanted to, hey, you know what? Hey, man. But I said, it's warm out. He's got a big coat on.
yeah.
Why lose my life over 10 seconds?
Right. Yeah.
So he cut, and then he walked out and in front of everybody, jaywalked across the street. So I'm like, hey, let's just leave him alone.
Yeah. You know what I would have said? I would have said, you know what? Whatever he's buying, it's on me. I got it. You know,
Yeah.
we made different ways. It would made him probably would have. I don't know what it would have done, but
But it's just the mentality that everything revolves around me.
right,
And if I have a problem, I'm going to solve it.
right.
Or it's the person in the movie theater that takes the phone call and say, "Hey, whoa, 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 we're all trying to enjoy ourselves," and but nobody wants to say anything because they know if I check this youngster, I may have a bigger problem on my hands.
Yeah. We started out this with the intent of talking about our friend Ray Chester. I'm gonna call him real quick, see if I can get a hold of him. Uh, he probably knew. He had to know Coach Beam.
Oh, I'm sure everyone in the community fairly well.
Yeah. But
Please leave a message and I will return your call as soon as possible.
hey, big man, we're trying to get a hold of you. Talk about first of all, uh, Coach John Beam lost his life today, and I'm here with Mitch Adams, and we're also we did this show to talk about getting you in the Hall of Fame, as I promised we would do, and we'll do it again and again and again and again. So, okay, call back one day, man. But God bless you. We think about you all the time. You got anything you want to add, Mitch?
Hey, I'll hit you on the side, Raymond. Maybe we get lunch one of these days soon.
Cool. All right, we'll talk to you. Yeah. So, yeah, it just what I was going through my mind just a second ago is how we need to have an Oakland crusade. Take all the Oakland Raiders and get them to the Hall of Fame. Make that be. And my thought, Mitch, is that it would help um, shine this bright light on the city that needs to remind the world of our contributions as a city to American culture.
So who right now is deserving that's not quite there yet?
Oh wow.
Right.
Raymond, Raymond,
Lester,
Lester, Phil Villapiano,
Jack.
Jim Plunkett. That's four right there. You
No,
know,
I think that was five.
five.
Yeah.
Otis Sistrunk.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd love to see Big O in there.
yeah. One of the think about it from a technical standpoint. One of the first active nose tackles. Could remember Coach Madden moved him to nose. He was DT. He got moved to nose, and he was very effective.
Oh,
Uh,
hmm.
yeah, you know, and he was.
What about the Raiders' all-time sack leader?
So now we're talking about. Uh,
See, that's the problem. Greg Townsend is the
Greg
all-time
Townsend.
Raider
Greg
sack leader,
Townsend.
and
Greg Townsend.
no one knows that it's him.
And you know what? I didn't know it was him. I did
Yeah,
not know
and
that.
he has a big problem with that because
He should have a big problem. That's our
think about
problem.
it, he wreaked havoc.
Yeah.
And
Oh, hold on a second. No, actually, he says, just want to put no, it's Elihu Harris confirmed that he was directly shot in the head. And he was a former mayor of Oakland who hired him. He has basically, Mayor Harris has everybody's phone number at Lady College and the Peralta Community College system. So if there's anybody who would know, it's my former boss and longtime friend Elihu Harris. He came on the show to let me know that. I didn't. I assumed others knew it. If you didn't know it and you're knowing it now, okay. So just because you don't have, I don't have a letter named by our media company, which is Delaware C Corp. Who cares? The bottom line is the news. The sad news is that Coach Bean was shot, uh, and he was shot in the head. I'm sorry to bring that news to you so directly, but that's how it was brought to me. And you can I have an interview here with Mayor Harris who breaks the news directly. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Uh, wow.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. John Beam, as well as all of our Raiders that aren't in the Hall of Fame and that are well deserving. Because that team of the '70s, you look at the number of Steelers that are in the
Amy
Hall of Fame.
Trask. Amy Trask.
Amy Trask deserves the Hall of Fame, or said the same thing?
Oh, Amy Trask deserves the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's still with us.
No. I thought maybe she said the same thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers having so many of their guys.
She probably would say that though. I think she.
Yeah, we when you look at the great teams of the '70s, it was Oakland and Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh got the nod over us. The Immaculate Reception should have been ours.
Yep,
should have been our game.
Definitely.
There was a game in 1977 in Denver where Tatum hits Rob Lytle. He fumbles the ball at the goal line.
I remember that. Yeah.
And
I was so mad about that.
That game should have been over.
Should have been us. Yeah, we should have played the Cowboys.
We should have played the Cowboys in that Super Bowl, but
Denver, a different outcome.
Yeah. Oh, what? This team was great.
Yes.
And we got, had it been instant replay back then, or we certainly would have gone.
Yep. And
had there been replay for the Immaculate Reception, that ball, whether it hit the turf or bounced off Frenchie Fuqua, is still debated today. And I think it would have gone our favor. So we would have gone to 2 additional Super Bowls in the
and to remind folks, Mitch, the Cowboys won Super Bowl 12 27-10 because the Broncos had a lousy offense. The Raiders did not have a lousy offense.
No. Offense was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that you look at all of the short end of the stick that we got along the way. Even Cowboys Monday, and I'll never forget the guy taking the cue card, and it's like, what are we measuring by a fraction of a millimeter? What's going on here? How do you measure that distance when it's not an exact science when you place it on the sideline, the chains, or bring them out to the field? It's not an exact science. So it's like, what is this guy doing? I've never seen a rep with a cue card do that before or since.
Wasn't that the wildest thing you've ever seen from a standpoint of refereeing?
It's like, what is he doing? Is he about to write something down? Here's my phone number. Call me later.
Right.
Guy slides it in there, and it's like,
yeah, that was
what? And so, as a fan, we get used to the calls not going our way, and then the few times that they do go our way, everyone's like, "Oh, you guys cheated." It's like, how many times have we been cheated? Holy smokes! And let's not talk about the Huck rule. Jeez.
Oh God, the Chuck rule, man.
And then that rule goes away 3 years later.
Oh man.
They couldn't do it that off season, but they waited a little bit and did it without any fanfare.
How does anybody get with Tom Brady being a limited partner of the
Love it. I love it. Wasn't his fault that he was on the opposite side of that play. It's the refs that call it, so more power to him. I never liked him until late in his career when I'm like, this guy is fantastic. I didn't like him because of what happened to my team.
Mm-hmm.
But when I just looked at it as a pure football standpoint, I'm like, this guy is nails. And he goes to Tampa and does the same thing. Nothing but a winner. And if you couldn't see that, then it's like you weren't watching football.
That's
because
right.
he killed it. And New England had a great system running. I didn't know they were as good as they were this year. Quiet as kept. What are they? 8-2, 7-3, something like that. It's like, oh my God. Because we beat them first game of the season. I figured they were trash because I didn't know how good we were. And then we went on the 5-game losing streak, and it was like, okay, we beat a team. They must be worse than us because I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. And I went and looked at and did some studying the other few weeks ago, and I'm like, holy crap, New England is way up there. So, I mean, they're leading the East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, they've got.
They better get their act together.
I'll say I made a video calling Drake May a bust, and the reason I did that was on the run up to the NFL draft in Detroit, and he had one good year. That was 2022. 2023, there was this, I call it fake news being put out about him. For example, against North Carolina State, they said that he had an interception and a fumble. No, he had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. All right, yeah. And I thought, look, I mean, if you want to declare him like the Great White Hope, just say so, but don't make up fake news about the dude and just make it look like he's like, right? And then there was the whole issue with Joe Milton, who's now with the Cowboys. Your brother from Tennessee with the laser rocket arm. The first preseason game where Drake May and Milton were on the Patriots, Milton showed him up. I mean, it was no other way to put it. Mitch showed him up. And it became this big deal, like, oh my God, maybe you took the wrong guy too high, right?
Well,
And
that's always the case.
Yeah.
You could go back to the 80s, the late 80s. I'll never forget it. Brian Shaw from Oakland, or O'Dowd, a friend, and he #1 draft pick by the Celtics. But his second year, what did he do? He went to play in Italy because he felt I think after the first year, he and Danny Ferry both went over to Italy to play. And Brian killed it. Danny, not so much. But when the stats would come back to the States to be put in the newspaper, unlike now where you can look on the internet, they transposed them and did Brian's stats under Danny.
Whoa.
Danny's stats to Brian.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, yeah. Brian, you see, when he came home, he was pissed. He said, I'm over there killing it, but everyone thinks Danny's killing it. He said, not that he's not playing well. He said, I think they're giving him my stats. Because he said, I'm over there killing it. And then he came back and had a great career. And Danny, not so much.
And, I can see that because in an entirely other profession, politics, I remember when Senator Obama was running for president. And of course, it was Obama and Clinton. And the Gallup ran a poll that had Clinton slightly ahead, but I forgot Paul's last name. He was the guy that was over the Gallup at the time. Wrote in his notes that President Obama was actually ahead, but he could not believe the statistics. And so I made a video and a blog based on that solely and accused Gallup of being corrupt. Okay. I said, why would you just simply say, well, you don't believe it? Is it that you don't believe it because you don't want it to happen? Or you don't believe it because there's truly a technical reason that anybody would understand if you presented it for your case? And when he presented it, he didn't back it up with anything that you could be fed and say, okay, I get it. He just said, I didn't believe it. Well, so right. So I can see that happening to overseas. That's sad, man. That's the ultimate fake news. That's
and it's really hard to do today. However, you see a lot of that going on, and I don't know what's happening in Cleveland with Shador because it's too much of a circus for me. But for someone to be of what I thought was a decent talent to fall to the 5th round and not even get on the field this year, and
No, that you know what they're trying to do, Mitch. They're trying to sun him, and part of it is because I remember Bill Carroll, who's now our COO, longtime NFL draft expert, was at the combine, and I remember saying to Bill when I dispatched him to go to go there and make sure that he got credentialed. I said, make sure you get Shadur. Make sure you get Shadur. So he's talking. Bill is a smart guy, smart brother, brilliant brother, and he said um, he said he gets up there. What happens is that I'm playing this. I was pausing because I was thinking maybe I should bring up the video. That's too much work. But everything I'm talking about is on video, which is why I love the way I do what we do. Right, we like to get on video. So anyway, Shador is dealing with these. Well, he's not dealing. He's happily answering these questions that have nothing to do with football. Like literally how he parts his hair. Okay, that's the kind of questions they were. And Bill, does not suffer fools gladly. And he's basically waiting patiently for his turn to ask a question. And he finally gets frustrated. Says, "Well," he raises his hand, and Shadur recognizes him. And he says, "Okay, 3rd and 8," and he gives him a situation and the coverage. What do you do? Right? What's your answer to the question essentially? And your offense answer as quarterback, right? And instead of giving him an answer, Shadur says, "Well, are you an agent? Are you a secret agent from one of the teams?" And Bill said, "Well, this is a football event, is it not?" And Bill was right. And the way it hit me was, first, I thought Bill was right. It's the combine, and Bill has covered the combine, the NFL draft for about 3 decades, and so it's very common for him to put out technical questions like that. He's not the only one who draft nicks do. I'm a draft nick. I'm not to the point where I throw out questions like that because I just have a different style. I do video and I'm covering it and I want to get the video response because I believe that's valuable to people. So it's not a matter of me, approaching that. I like Bill's style though. He's my friend. Anyway, that would I can see how somebody would get a little annoyed by the way Shador handled it.
Yeah, but
But is it worth dropping him from number 1? No. Is it worth? I thought he was going to be number 1. I thought he was going to go ahead of Cam Ward. Okay, because I feel like Cam had like 1 or 2 really really good games like against Cal, but
yeah,
right, okay, yeah, Anyway,
that game was all but won.
that was disgusting, man. We had him. I mean,
it was over. It was over.
Over. We didn't have him just by the short hairs. We had him. Okay.
Oh my goodness! But it that may have been that game that really showed
put him over.
Like he could do in the 4th quarter with limited time, and wow.
Yeah, but dude, let's pick up on that. You know why? Okay. ESPN has this huge event for the first time in Cal's history. Ta-da! They come to Berkeley finally. I'm thinking, how come you guys couldn't do this when I was at grad school? I mean, because that still goes back a long way. And so I'm like, will we go back that far? Almost. But anyway, my point is that so that was the spotlight, and that was the bright light where Cam showed what he was capable of doing in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. And he voted, and rightfully so. And he did what he had to do.
We played him too soft though.
What
we should have double A gapped him up the middle,
But whether or not Shador should have fallen to the 5th round, is still debatable because
I don't think so.
It-
You should no. I mean, what I'm saying is that he should not have fallen to the fifth
No,
round.
he should not have.
No.
And
And-
I don't understand why every time I open my computer, you might go to a landing page, whether it be Google or whatever, and it has news stories. It's always Cleveland and Shador or something. And it's like, oh my God, why can't we just give this guy a break? Let him focus on football, and then next year let him compete for that job.
Money.
But the great thing about Shador and his contract, he has the primetime clause in it. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah. Well,
Because he was already an entity coming into the pros where he made anywhere from $5 to $10 million a year.
yeah.
And so the primetime clause, and I honestly think that's what it's called. That's what I remember reading that, is where anything sold, again, name, image, and likeness by Cleveland, he gets a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
And so he's still he's one of, as they put it, he's one of the highest paid rookies because of that clause
Mhm.
and the fact that he's still able to make money on the side based on name, image, and likeness.
Isn't his jersey one of the top 5?
I don't know, but
Something like that?
he's making a killing.
Yeah.
Killing,
Yeah, and I don't. I'm hesitating because I don't agree with what I'm about to say, but I think that there are people in the NFL that see him as some sort of threat to their hegemony over players. Now, where I'm going with this is, for example, I remember 2015 was the first year I covered it, where you had not one, but you had 2 marquee quarterbacks that did not attend the draft. That was Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. Because I was in Chicago and I was looking forward to interviewing Jameis. He wasn't there. Mariota wasn't, not even there. And I'm playing all this out on video as to where this is going to, fall and everything. So I'm literally announcing what's happening on video. And have it play out. But it's hard to do that. The NFL feels like it's lost. They lose ratings control with that because what they did this time is they said, okay, Shador's going to have his party in Colorado, but no, they roped him into all their advertisements and everything. The reason why is he gets clicks, and that's why they keep doing it. I noticed this when I started talking about it. I was getting clicks. I was like, hey, that's money. Cha-ching. And it translates into like, 20, 30, 40, $100. I'll take it. Cha-ching. Because I'm a YouTube partner, So now there's so much material out about him, it's hard to clear those dollars anymore because everybody's got some material about him, right? But early on, yeah. I mean, you watch the needle jump, okay? Because of all this outsized attention paid to him, that was just outlandish. Because people like Jamelia Hill couldn't bear to say anything kind about either Dion or Shador, and while he was in college, and I even among other people, not just me, but other people on Twitter said, "Hey, what's your deal? Why are you putting on the brother?" Well, we're all like the same color. You have to like bash the dude like that. And so I think what's going on, and I'm hesitant to say this, but I'm just going to say it because it's what I see. I don't agree with it, but it's what I see. I think there are people who are very afraid of a black athlete who cannot be controlled. And what I mean by controlled, I mean that is his own or her own corporation.
Yep. Spot on.
Right.
Spot on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
we all have thought it. And shut up and dribble used to be what you could tell someone to do.
Yeah.
There was nothing else they could do as far as fighting back. I mean, back to Kurt Flood had to give up his career to fight for free agency. Players have a lot of pull these days, and I think owners are that rope is slipping through their hands. And Shador is a player that comes in; they could actually make that rope a lot more slippier, a lot more slippier, a lot more slippery. It's slippery.
Slippery, yeah.
It's late in the day. I've been up since 4 or something.
Yeah.
A lot more slippery. When I say slipperer, a lot more slippery for them, and I really think they were trying to break him, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, that's sad to do that. I would, if you were my son, I would have filed a lawsuit against the league by now. I mean, that's defamation of character. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, and
and a form of collusion.
yeah,
Kind of
definitely.
in reverse, where we just ignore him.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was yeah they colluded to not draft him,
Yep.
and I do think there are a lot of teams are going to grow to regret that.
Yeah, big time because that's.
He's going to come back, and he's had a year to rest and not get beat up because he took some punishment in Colorado.
Hmm. And that's a form of abuse too.
Well,
To do that to him.
he's strong. He has a strong mind,
Hmm.
and he seems to be upbeat whenever you see him. And I suspect
Hmm.
in next year when he gets an opportunity to truly compete or get traded, he'll make some noise somewhere, Las Vegas,
Yeah.
and because we need a quarterback.
You
We
need
need
an offensive coordinator.
that
I'm
too.
sorry, man.
That too. But
I'm a big Geno fan.
if we can get rid of Geno, because Geno does
Nah,
not instill confidence in me.
but it's not Geno's fault. Look,
I
Mitch.
understand.
Mitch, no, hear me out though.
No, I know. I've seen all of this stuff on Chip Kelly.
No,
Now,
no, 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 no. I just want to say this though, because I think you'll agree with this. A quarterback does not keep his job by going against what the coach asks him to do. If the coach draws up a play, the coach wants the play ran to where if the primary receiver happens to be the back, running the flat, that's the primary. If you're coming off it, you better have a good reason. If, I can go on and on and on. Quarterbacks are not paid to be Ken Stabler. Ken could, call his own plays, right? Adjust the formation and everything else, right? That was then. Today, it's not like that. So you think Chip is going to give a chance to, you know, Geno if you
I understand,
okay?
but when Geno scrambles, boy,
Mhm.
he is slow these days, and he's made some bonehead decisions on getting rid of the ball. And
But that's coaching.
no, double
It's
and triple
coaching.
coverage. Throw the ball away.
No, but it's coaching. First of all,
You don't no
if here's
you
where I'm
don't
going,
you
Mitch.
don't try to tuck it in a tight space when there's three defenders there.
You don't have a coach. You write your. I've written plays. John Gruden in '98. I think I've said this before. I'll say it again. John Gruden took my play, um, but the play in the playbook that I presented him, they had Will Kiss wait for me. You know Will,
Yeah.
right? He had Will Kiss wait for me in Orlando. But the reason why my plays got spread around the league like they did is because I had very specific coaching points. Because I view it like engineering. It's human engineering. You have because look, someone says you have to play the game to understand it. No, you don't. Because the reason why you don't is look, does that mean I have to be a steel girder in order to design a skyscraper? No. It's analysis and it's math. Okay? And that's why I probably the only I am. I'm the only person in the NFL who's credentialed that actually covers the big data bowl. I love the math, all right? These folks are out there doing some really path breaking stuff that virtually no one pays attention to, but I do. All right, because some of the stuff they create, it's not easily applicable. Like the guy that won the first year that I covered it, which was 2018. All right, but it wasn't directly applicable, and he admitted that. But how many people are going to know that? They gave him the award because he went to Harvard. I was like, come on, give me a break with this stuff. All right. There was somebody else that had a an a an algorithmically based analysis that actually tied in how much an offensive line got paid by the blocking statistics. It was super impressive. And I know that guy got hired by somebody, okay? That was super impressive. So my point is this, okay? I don't see Chip Kelly as installing an offense that is algorithmically tied to make my individual player better based on the idea, which what he should be doing is having a kind of ready fit statistical analysis of Geno Smith and what he can and cannot do, and what to ask him to do and what not to. All right. So if he's doing that, that's Chip's fault. If Chip doesn't understand the dynamics of where defense is going to go when he designs a play, guess what? He has no business coaching. Bill Walsh um, is famous. There's a video of Walsh coaching where he says to someone, he says, "See, I think it says this, Roger. If you go here, you go this way, you're gonna be wide open. Gonna be wide open means he has understanding the defense call, the coverage. He's designed that play to deal with that coverage, and so he knows from that analysis he's gonna be wide open. If Chip is not able to say, you know what, if I have him scramble, I'm gonna cause a situation where he's throwing in the three triple coverage. Therefore, I'm not going to do it. If he's not doing that, then fire him. This is a math game. This is a technical game. This is a game of angels and devils on your shoulder. And if he doesn't have the intellectual chops, get rid of him. I'm sorry. I have
Well,
zero.
I wouldn't lose any sleep if either of them didn't show up next year or next week. I think we need something fresh as an offensive coordinator, and I think we need a young quarterback that can move. Gino is not the answer. I thought he would be, and I hate to say it because I never really go against the guys, but this time, this is the one guy that I wish we'd never signed.
And I like Gino. I like Gino since Gino's always got a bad rap, and I'll explain why I'm so behind him because when he was being drafted, is in New York. And much of this is right here on Zenny 62 YouTube. Gino discovered after NFL Play 60 that he was not going to be going in the first round. And he fired his agents on the spot at the draft. Boom, fired him. Okay. These two dudes did not like a black. Remember talking about Shador? And, they didn't like a black guy firing him, a youngster firing them. Okay. So you know what they did? They badmouthed Gino to Jason Cole. All right, who I know. And Jason Cole was then of the Bleacher Report, and he went and wrote this hit piece about Gino basically being an uppity blankety blank, but not okay, but not using that term. All right, but that's basically what it was, and he dropped. Okay, he definitely did drop. Okay, that cemented it. It was like, okay, and to make matters even worse, the media didn't report that as the problem. They made up something else. It had nothing to do with it. And I lost all kinds of respect for the people that were covering the draft. I thought, you know what? These folks are they call themselves journalists. They're just, spitting out somebody they got close to on a team, spitting out their point of view. They're not and being dishonest about it. All right.
Well, all of that for me, and I'm sorry Gino went through that, but today's Gino, I want him out of here. That's just me.
But what is it that what is it? Is it attitude or what? I think his attitude's fine.
It looks as though he's lost confidence.
Well, how can you have confidence when your offensive coordinator sucks?
Again, it looks as though he's lost confidence.
I don't care. You get Aiden back, he's going to do the same thing. And Aiden Aiden didn't study the offense.
That's why I said we need a young quarterback. We need to draft somebody. What's the last first-round draft pick that we wasted on a quarterback? I mean, or that we used on a quarterback? Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
Jamarcus, he didn't study. He turned out, was he a bust? That's debatable. Was he the worst quarterback in Raider history? Debatable.
No, I thought Lane should have been fired for the way he handled him.
But he didn't live up to the hype.
I thought Lane should have been fired for the way he handled him. Here you've got a guy.
Wait, who was the other first round before
Brady
that?
Quinn.
No, first round for the Raiders before Jamarcus. When did we use a first round pick on a quarterback?
Marinovich?
Yeah, probably. And then before that was who?
Oh, wow.
Mark Wilson?
Yeah, I'm not sure about Mark Wilson. I have to look
Yeah,
that up.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then before that, I don't think anybody.
Yeah, Jay Boogie says, patience. Remember, John Gruden's offense sucked his first year. Yeah, but it didn't suck this bad, man. And not only that though, you have to give Gino credit. Gino threw for 4 touchdowns and interception against in the Jags game. Okay,
Yeah, but guess what?
and
That
so
that interception coming out of the half, yet again, 3 points
I understand,
for the Jags.
but right,
And
but
the
let's
game is
look.
tied at the end.
I know,
Because
but let's look at that interception. All right, Why did we? I think I mentioned this before. Why did he do that? Because he had that Roger Staubach wind up. You know, you don't wind up the ball. Everybody knows you're going to throw it.
regardless of the windup,
Oh,
make
regardless, that's interesting.
better
Dude,
choices.
dude,
Throw it out of bounds. Take
dude.
the sack.
No, here's why that matters.
No. I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm just saying throw it away. Don't try to throw it in a space that a baseball wouldn't fit into.
But I'm saying that when your offensive coordinator is working with you, guess what? Those plays don't happen. And I'm sorry, they're not working with him, and it's obvious. All right, you don't go into a game. You know who else did that? Kevin Stefanski with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had that same windup problem. I pointed it out. I said, you know what? This is not going to get any better because you're like 6 games in, you're still doing it. And they kept doing it the rest of the year, and it never got any better. And he didn't stop it until he went to another team where they figured out, hey, you know what? You're winding up too much, man.
Well, I hope Gino corrects that on his next team.
I hope the Raiders work with him to do it now because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that's going to waste Mark Davis money by saying, well, we'll figure it out next year should not be working for the Raiders. You know, that's ridiculous, man. You know, a person, again, this goes back to math. Who are we hiring that's not intelligent enough to apply mathematics to a game where math matters? It's a physics game.
Math matters everywhere. Now,
right.
If your offensive line can't do their job, no one else can do theirs.
Right.
That's the basis of football.
Right.
However, in my mind, when I lose faith in the quarterback, and I know during that 5-game stretch, there were a lot of people on that team questioning whether or not he should be under center. Then you win a game. All right, let's back off a little bit. And then even though the last 2 games were entertaining because we played well, we played well enough to win each of those games, we still lost. And I can't point to Gino for this last loss. Maybe it's Chip Kelly for this game against Denver. However,
here's my question, Mitch. My other question is, how come? To me, all this masks the fact that our defense isn't good enough to win a championship. So we have to rely on our offense, which to me is.
Well, I think the defense did fairly well against Denver.
Yeah, but the whole point is that it's not. I want a defense like the Bears' defense. I'm talking about
the 85 Bears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the 2000 Ravens.
I would love to see a defense that you knew when they run out there that our offense was coming right back out on the field because they were going to make quick business of the opposing team's offense.
And it gets to the evaluation. I remember this is August 17th of 2000. And I believe that was the date. The Ravens were playing the New York Jets in preseason. And Mitch, I have never seen a defensive front come off the ball so fast in my entire life. It literally scared me. I called a friend of mine. I said, you got to watch this game. I said, this defense is going to be a monster. And it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Hey, Zenny, I got to wrap this.
Okay.
I've got some other things. I've got it on the calendar. Certainly appreciate you having me. And rest in peace,
Rest
John
in peace, John.
Oh, my goodness. That is.
No.
Yeah. Such a nice man. And wow. It's, as they say, gone too soon.
Yeah. All right. See you next week, man.
Okay,
Call Ray. Hey, Ray, we got to get you back. We gotta get a.
I'll call Ray.
All right, man. Because I called him. You heard me.
Yeah, I'll call him.
Hey, don't move a muscle. I got you. Hey, everybody. That ends this stream. Subscribe to Zenny62. We're also looking for investors for Zenny62 Media. Visit Zenny62media.com. We got a lot going on. We'll see you.